And welcome back to my devlog series on my indie game Final Exit. So this episode probably look at the next couple of blocks. Last time we finished off on the green rolling block and touched along the bridge block. I could start showing more levels about, the scenarios they could be used in, but I think what I might do is once I've got through these blocks, I might put together like a little mini trailer of loads of things going on, just quick cuts of all the of all the levels, because there's so many, a bit here forever going through things, and I want to get through these bits talking about the blocks because I wouldn't mind upgrading to the next Unity and really start getting somewhere with this game. So for this episode, the next block is the pause block, the orange one. Just remember, the yellow one is the normal one, the white one's the goal one, orange one's a pause block. Just had a quick play around with it, and it didn't have the JavaScript file on, so I've put the C# one on. I forgot to update the prefab, so it broke again, so I've updated that, so it should all work now. So a couple of things you can do with the pause block. So, as the name probably gives it away, when you push into it, there's a bit of a pause on it. And then it goes. And then it goes. So, as like with other blocks, it can be a hindrance or it can be very, very helpful. So, let's just restart that. Keep getting these weird little errors anyway. Seems like for now, because we'll be upgrading and fixing a lot of stuff. So, to begin with, it can be a bit annoying because they're in the way and they're slow. The level would have finished already by now. I think there's like 1-2 seconds pause between each one. So when does this become helpful? I mean, I'll jump to another level in a second, but I'll just explain the basics of how it works. Is when this block, just reset that. When this block is rolled onto it, like so. Even though this one picks up the trigger event collision, it won't instantly go, oh, what's my next block? What do I do? Do I rotate? Do I do nothing? It has a pause on it, which is where you come into a lot of that wait for seconds thing I was talking about before. Basically, I'm pausing, I'm waiting for a second or two, and then I say, right, what animation do I need to play? Oh, check the next block, or there's one there. So let me just undo that. So a couple of things actually happen. Like, for instance, when you push the yellow one, let's go a bit slow, not two windows open. I pause it, once you do it, when you push the yellow one onto it, bing. So it plays that clip. So I don't know if you remember, there's all these tons of clips. They're all, half of them are named almost the same thing. So you play the clip so it's leaning. There's going to be a pause, and that one rotates. The orange one rotates, which is the same clip. You just saw the yellow one. But you then see this one then rotated a little bit. Because as the orange one shifted position, this one had to, continue, had to fall, as in like it would with real physics. So, an animation needs to go from there to there. So that tiny bit of animation is, God knows which one it is now, to be honest. Probably, rotate left pause. It's probably that one, and rotate right pause. And there's a little bit extra you can do. There's lots of little, things you can do. And that's all it is. Instead of playing a full clip, rotating all the way down, you play a little bit, you wait for a few seconds, and then the next one plays, and this one continues to fall over, and so on. Hopefully it's pretty obvious. Just get rid of that window so this one plays a bit quicker. Bing. Pretty simple stuff, I'm hoping. I mean, it wasn't when I first tried to figure out the code. It drove me around the bends with all things. But, it actually still works, which is good. So, I mentioned it can be a bit of a hindrance and it can be helpful. So, when does it become helpful? So, let's just jump some levels. Right, so instance here. Green one, remember it's a rolling block. Goal block, normal block, pause block. By the way, if you forget what block does what, in the pause menu there is a tutorial thing giving videos of each one, which will be another tutorial coming along. Another devlog. So when's the orange one helpful? When's the pause block helpful? So here, I can pick up the orange one and bring it down to here, pick up the green one, bring it down to here, bring the yellow one along, bring it down to here, knock them all over. In fact, you can't actually do that because when you pick up one of them and go, right, let's come down here, put you here, whatever. Oh, I can't get back up because there's no ladder. So you have to sort of cleverly think, what am I going to do? Because I can't fall off. And even if I could fall off and complete the level, the exit is up here. So we cannot jump off this platform. I mean, this one's pretty easy, but they all are to begin with, so you learn. So a rolling block, a green rolling block that rolls on forever, will knock into the orange pause on and bounce back like it would off a stopper, and the orange one continues after its pause. There we go, pretty simple. So if you can have a think about it, you can get some giant levels where you get a lot of green ones rolling around, bouncing off pause blocks, which give you a second of breathing space, or if you want to offset something in a chain reaction, for then something else to happen, and you end up getting sort of all these multiple things happening. And these are a nice way of sort of holding off of something happening while something else happens. I might jump to a level in a second and show you, but anyway, green one bounces off, orange pauses, orange then plays, knocks over the yellow one, green one keeps going, onto the goal. Yeah, so you exit. There we go. So again, that's pretty simple. I mean, again, the green one checks if there's a block there. If it's a pause one, bounce back the other way. Exactly the same bit of script for the bouncing for stop block. Just reusing the same code. The orange one knows it's being hit. It goes, what's the left of me? It's the same function of, oh, I'm on the edge of a platform, I need to fall down. But before it does that, it just has a little pause for a second. So it's all reusing the same code. But just quickly, okay, that's quite a mental level. But look how many orange pause blocks there are. There's loads of them, and there's some green ones going on. So you can imagine the green ones have got to offset something and they bounce off and do something else. And by the time that orange one's got all the way through there, which will probably take 20 seconds, the green one's gone on and done another chain reaction, another route, and it has many things like that. Hasn't got any in. I'm just randomly trying to find one. It's got a lot of orange ones in. I mean, as you can see, there's a lot of craziness going on. Like orange ones here. I can't see because that's stupid noise things there. So all these orange ones have got to do something which allow this green one to bounce back off of it. So the green one bounces off of it, goes and does something. Second later, the orange one will then roll over and do something else, etc., etc. You know, keeps doing it. So there's a lot of nice chain reactions that can happen. Yeah, and that's the orange pause block of levels. You get a new pink block, and this is the splitter block. Where are we? Block, I can't see. There we go. Split block. There we go. So what does that mean? Well, it splits in two, as the name suggests. And once again, still got a JS script there. So let us get rid of that one. C# on. The prefab, so it works for every scene. So as you can see here, there's a split block and there's a load of normal blocks and a goal block. Now, of course, you could pick that block up, put it on the end and push it, but of course, just to be difficult, I've made the level. The platform's not long enough so you can do that, just so you're forced to learn what it actually does. So if you go along, well, I've just already completely ruined what I was saying. Forgot to pick the block up. So if I was to pick the block up here and push it here, I can't actually stand to the left of it and push it over because I'd fall off. So anyway, it forces you to learn what it is. So if you were to push this normal block onto the pink block, when it's hit from above, it splits into two and goes, one rolls left, one rolls right. So you get more chain reactions going on. Hope it works. Oh my god, it actually worked. This is brilliant. The C# script has converted beautifully. So you can see, and again here, it's split down the middle, One goes left, knocks over, one goes right, game over. So if you hadn't actually have one little trick about it is, can you see how you got 2 on the left of the split and 4 on the right? Well, technically with the goal there's 5 on the right. If it was the other way round and the goal block was hit while there was still some other blocks going along. So for instance, if this goal block, let's do it this way to make more sense. If this goal block, right, that's probably say there, and I was to push this splitter, the goal block is going to be hit before this end one is, and that's not allowed. All the blocks have to be knocked over before the goal block's hit. There you go. Game over must use all blocks. So you've hit the goal block and you hadn't used that one. That's not really a splitter functionality, but you know, as it's here to see how it works, I thought I'd explain it. So the basic premise is, the logic behind it, and push it, when it falls down, nothing's happened yet. This is one of these extra functions you saw in all the code in the game engine, and this is all these little ifs and buts, so it all adds up. But if you go through, when it collides with it, oh, disappear, make the one you've got disappear, and then here have 2, so you can now see 2 of them there. So the one that you push off will, you know, delete, will disappear and turn into these 2. And there we go, and that should game over. Bing. Right, there we go, and that's the splitter block. Any more other quick levels on the splitter block, just sort of show it working at all. Some sort of thing, the ladder. Yeah, they're all relatively simple. Start getting a bit harder, a bit trickier. Starts to become also a bit harder when you've got to do it in the amount of pickups, which yeah, I can explain to you as we get onto that bit. But I might just play one level here to show you how it works. So I remember how to do these. I'm sure it will all come back to me. This ladder still works. It does. So pick you up, come up here, put you there. I think I'll probably put him up here, and this other splitter, let's put them there. Now there is a stop block there, you can see. That could be used. You could put a stop block there and not have that splitter one there, and this one falls down, will bounce off and whatnot. But I mean, I'm sure you probably actually need to do that, thinking about it, to do the optimal amount of pickups. But is this actually going to play and work? It splits, it splits, it splits, and it goes. Game over. Excellent. And yeah, there we go. It actually does work. Well, I'll probably end this devlog here a little bit shorter, because the next one will get onto the next 2 blocks. So once again, any comments, ideas or thoughts, or like and subscribe, please do. And I will see you next time. Cheers, bye.